stay cool.
Hi, Jay Fallon. Thank you for listening to the Slippery Slope. So I'm going to apologise right now for the thumbnail or the cover of this episode. But this is the picture that was up in the Courier Mail in the paper here in Australia, in Queensland, specifically where I live. This is the picture that the Courier Mail thought, well, this is what we should put up, and this is an article that we should run. And I'm reading the article going, oh, I read the headline thinking, okay, so what now? We're promoting. So we've gone to, well, the Courier Mail now has gone to promoting OF as if it's some kind of career choice. Hey, look, here, girls, all you aspiring young women aspiring to be, social media entrepreneurs. Here's a career path in case you haven't thought about it yet because it's everywhere supposedly. Look at all these young girls, young women, trailblazers. Not really trailblazers, but this is the way they're promoting it. Trailblazers leading the way, selling their bodies for money. Now, not so long ago, if you went and sold your body for money like that, you were a prostitute. Personally, I think it's still it's just another form of prostitution. And oh, it's fairly disgusting. Oh, before we get into the story, we'll read the article together. Before we get into it, I want to read a couple of Bible verses, okay? Uh, and just talking about the nations or nations. Anyway, so Acts 10:35. We'll go from the it says, "But in every nation, anyone who fears him and does what is right is acceptable to him." This proverb, Proverbs 14:34, righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. This OF, it's a blight to our society. It is a blight to Queensland, to Australia. And yet, a newspaper like the Courier Mail chooses to shine a light on it as if it's a this is a career path. This is something you should be choosing. You should be looking at. You remember there was the story not so long ago, towards the end of last year. I think it was that Bonnie Blue. I think it was she was an OF creator. I don't know why they're called creators. They're not doing anything creative. But her big claim to fame was she was going to come to Australia, and I think she'd done it before, and having relations with young men who had just gotten out of school and were there at the Gold Coast for Schoolies Week, and she was going to be filming it and sharing it on her OF account. That was her. She made headlines all over Australia, here in Queensland for sure, for what she was planning to do. And then I talked about just not long ago about you had the OF creator, Lily Phillips, I believe her name was. She had made headlines because she had relations with 100 men. I think it was 100 men in like 12 hours, something like that. She held this record, and then she had this goal, lofty heights. She wanted to hit the lofty heights of having relations with 1,000 men. At the end of they did a bit of a documentary on her, and at the end of it all, she kind of broke down after the end of the 100 men situation. Um, the guy who was filming the documentary, he walked into the bedroom where she'd had just finished doing the deeds, almost threw up because of the smells. It was a bit intoxicating for him. He's just like, yeah. And then when she started to think about what she'd done, kind of breaks down and cries. But nonetheless, she decided, well, the next goal was she wanted to break this record of having relations with over 1,000 men. 1,000 men. But Bonnie Blue, getting back to Bonnie Blue, the one who was, wanting to sleep, or did, I think. Anyway, she was here to sleep with young gentlemen, have relations with young gentlemen from at schoolies. She beat her to the punch Um, and she managed to have relations with 1,000 men uh, in a 12-hour period. So she's got on camera. She's selling herself, selling her body. She's, what is that? That's just prostitution. And literally on camera, so she's selling herself for money. So she is prostituting herself, and she's had relations with over 1,000. I think it was 1,000 and I'll read it. It was 1,057 men in a 12-hour period. She's broken the record. She's got 1,057 relations in a 12-hour period. And then she comes out and she has this thing where she says she puts out a post talking about how she's pregnant. Um, it turns out that the pregnancy was well, yeah, it turns out she wasn't actually pregnant. I think not I think she'd faked the pregnancy. So it's, just fake, do whatever, say whatever for the sake of getting likes, for the sake of getting subscribers, for the sake of making money. The love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. For the sake of making money, just go out and tell people that you're pregnant. But it all ended up being fake. Lily Phillips, the one who was aspiring to break the record initially and had the 100 men relationship, she'd also come out and she'd announced that she was pregnant as well. And then it turns out that that was fake and it was all just a role play for her subscribers. Her subscribers. It's very well. It's an enriching lifestyle. It's really enriching our society. But check out this headline: Saucy snaps. Queensland's new generation of OnlyFans stars uncovered. Uncovered. It reminded me. I think I've seen headlines like this before. But when there's something like coming out and they think, oh look, here's the new generation of stars. Like you'd get articles they're talking about, though, the new Hollywood stars or the new TV stars that we should be looking at, the new musicians that are coming out. But this is the article. This is what they're trying to promote. Oh, look, here's the new breed of porn stars, corn stars, because that's all they are. They're just pornographers. Hundreds of young Queensland women, hundreds, are living their dream life thanks to the insane money they earn from online content. This is the next generation of stars beginning to make a splash. See how they're really selling it. This is a career choice, girls. This is what you should be thinking of. Um, yeah, and this is the cover, the photo that they want. So Queensland is home to some of Australia's most daring adult entertainers. There's nothing daring about it. It's the same old trash. The same old trash. With hundreds of successful women living a life of luxury by converting their social media followers into subscribers on their OnlyFans accounts. But it's not just taking pretty pictures and smiling. The majority of Queensland's biggest stars are managed by agencies that work tirelessly to amplify their content. Quinn Everly, this is her there, Quinn Everly, 34, is a content creator and the owner of Blue Rose Talent, an adult stars management agency that has worked with some of the state's most high profile talent. For Everly, the industry is more than just a way to make a living, it's how she met her husband. What the heck? So while working as a dancer, so she was, I'm guessing, it doesn't go into it, but I'm guessing a dancer. She was working the poles. Okay, so while working, she's an exotic dancer. While working as a dancer, she found herself falling for customer and future husband. That's why I think must be in one of those strip kind of clubs or a pole dance, whatever they call it. Alex, because customer. He believed in Everly's vision so much that he quit his job as a GP to work as her personal assistant. Because that's what we need. We don't need more doctors. We need less doctors and more OnlyFans, OFs. Alex and I try as much as possible to keep our personal life and work life separate. When we're off the clock, we don't talk. Anyway, she talks about this. She's giving advice. It's not always possible to separate. Where's she say? She said TikTok and Instagram were the highest subscription drivers from short form video content, the easiest way to go viral and reach millions with very little effort. She warned aspiring adult creators should not jump into the industry just as a quick money making opportunity. You shouldn't do it, but hey, check out my lifestyle. Isn't it wonderful? The internet is forever. Whatever you put online will stay there. Joining the industry can have permanent implications for your life, relationships, and career. It's very hard to keep it a secret. So I don't recommend joining the industry unless you have accepted that friends and family will find out. Often, the people closest to us are the first to subscribe. Keep in mind that most creators, this is how we talk about themselves, creators, don't even make a livable wage, and you do need to treat it as a full-time job in order to be successful and make enough money to live off. Anyway, let's go down to what. So this is the first girl that they're going to talk about. Hayley Summers. Hayley Summers is actually Quinn Everly's younger sister. So she's working for the company that Quinn Everly. You imagine, mum and dad. Dad must be extremely proud. His two girls selling their wares online. They've both decided to become prostitutes. And surely that's what it is. If you are selling yourself online for money, as in you're selling your sex behavior, filming yourself engaged in whatever behaviors, surely that's just prostitution. Am I not right? Anyway, so that's her there. So she's described as a bubbly blonde, beach babe. She loves working in the adult industry, but would happily quit OF if it meant she was able to become a stay-at-home mum. I'm sure her kids are going to really enjoy seeing her online in years to come. If she can find a man, a decent man, who's like, oh yeah, okay, I can live with this. Ruby Drew, swapping the cold for the heat. She's in an open relationship with her long-term partner and happily speaks to her audience about the positives and negatives about having an open life. This is the type of person that the Courier Mail has said, well, these are the kind of these are the kind of people that we should have influencing our young females. Look at these women making a success out of turning tricks online. Mia Bailey. Her claim to fame is that she's tall. She's 6'1". And her first video, TikTok video, went viral. She was able to quit her job after earning more than $40,000 in her first month on OnlyFans. That's it. She's a tall girl. April and Amelia Madison, twins. I was just like, what the heck? They're the best of friends, practically inseparable. After launching their OnlyFans career at just 18, the women now make a living by sharing virtually everything, wink wink, including their romantic interests. Chloe Mira, whatever, formerly an exotic dancer, prior to caters to audiences looking for raunchy videos involving encounters between step siblings. It's a nice. You always know you've got a good woman when they've got a tattoo right in the middle of their chest. Crikey. Tasha Page, rising to internet fame through honest anecdotes by hookups and dating. Again, tattoo in the middle of the chest. Great. Kay Mitchell, passionate about documenting her sexual escapades. I mean, I don't know how you can be passionate about it. It's whatever. Kay Manuel has hit a six-figure income for 3 consecutive years. Industry insiders say she is on track to becoming one of Australia's top creators. Renee Gracie, she's a former V8 supercar driver. She's now making a splash as OnlyFans OF creator. Sorry. It's not just her adult content that keeps people talking about Renee. She's also a strong advocate for equal opportunities for women in sports. And you wonder why people find it hard to take women in sports seriously when, oh yeah, and I also do OF. Paisley Beale, she's outspoken about sex. They talk about it as if they're the first people to discover sexual relationships, the first people to discover sex and, discover that, wow, we've got a camera, we've got access to filming ourselves. We should put this online so everyone else can see it. That's the way that she's outspoken about sex because no one else has ever spoken about sex. It's just her generation. Honey Brooks, described by some in the industry as not your average wife. Honey Brooks was shot to fame for openly sharing her husband with other online fan creators. I looked up her Instagram. Honey Brooks says that she has shared her husband with 140 other women. That's her claim to fame. Dasha Daly, she's trilingual and university educated. Obviously, being university educated doesn't give you smarts. Megan Rogerson, known to many as Brunette Barbie, she pushes the boundaries of what is possible in the adult industry. Pushes the boundaries. So the Courier Mail, supposedly a respectable mainstream media outlet, is promoting pornography, promoting prostitution, promoting prostitution as a viable career choice for our young girls. Look at all these up and comers. Have you thought about this for a career choice? You're in year 12, you'll be turning 18 this year. Why don't you go and make what was it? One of them made $40,000 in 1 month. The other ones, she's making six figures every year for the last 3 years. You too can be famous, making money by prostituting yourself. I, I think it's deeply disturbing that this is what a mainstream newspaper puts out there and is selling it as if, hey, this is a good idea. This is something, if in case you haven't thought of. Like I said, go back to the start. Proverbs 14:34. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. I've talked about before about having a reprobate mind. It seems like we as Australia have a reprobate mind. We as a nation, we can't see the wrong in the things that we're doing. The Courier Mail just puts it out there. No one says anything about, hey, should you really be promoting prostitution as a viable career choice to our young women? No, you shouldn't be. But no one, seemingly, no one's calling it out. No one's saying anything. It's disgusting. Righteousness exalts a nation, unfortunately, and sin is a reproach to any people. This is sin. This is not righteousness. It's just disgusting. I'll finish on this verse, Acts chapter 10, verse 35. But in every nation, anyone who fears him and does what is right is acceptable to him. We are not a nation that fears God anymore. We're not a nation that fears sin. We're not a nation that looks at sin and thinks, that's not the right way to go. We really shouldn't be doing that. That's not going to be good for our society. It's not going to be good for our young people. That is not the right, it's not a moral way to go. It's not an ethical way to go. There's nothing righteous about this. Instead, we've become a nation where we embrace sin, we embrace evil. They're turning, looking at a sinful lifestyle. They're looking at a lifestyle of immorality and fornication and selling it as if this is a viable career choice. This is something good. Look at all the money. We used to look at this as being evil, as being bad, but now, boys and girls, it's actually a good thing. Gee, trying to turn, trying to sell what was evil, now turn it into the good. This is the nation that we've become. The Courier Mail, shame on you. Shame on you. You should be you, you should be embarrassed. This is disgusting. This article is disgusting. The person that wrote this article, I'm not going to put their name up. I'm not going to say their name. It's disgusting. But this is the nation that we've become. A nation with a reprobate mind that looks at sin and says, hey, here's something, if in case you haven't thought about it, here's something you should be considering. Become a prostitute. This is all my opinion. Our nation, are we on the slippery slope, or we've gone? We're on the slide. We almost hit the bottom. Is there any further we can go? Any lower we can go? Let me know what you think. Is it disgusting, or am I overreacting? This is disgusting. My name is Jay Fallon. This is the slippery slope, and I'm embarrassed and disgusted. Thanks for listening. They just fuel a desire that will take me higher. I'm on fire.